sounds so corny, but like the friendship is really important. There's so many new things in this story that you haven't seen before.
So we're not going to let anyone in our production team like Marisha hear that because she will bleed from both ears.
This is a complete story, and I think once you've gone through it, you'll love what you've seen and probably be curious at the end to pull at the other corners of the map that you don't know yet.
Well, we're here for Mighty Nein, and it's exciting. And my first question is for people that maybe don't know anything about Critical Role, don't know D&D, like, why is this the perfect starting point for those people?
Oh my. Well, I don't know if it's the perfect starting point, but we hope that it is. I think ultimately our biggest takeaway, all of us as friends, and how we play D&D and how we've decided to tell this story with Mighty Nein, I think the biggest takeaway I hope people will have, or the feeling at least, is that this sounds so corny, but like the friendship is really important.
The friendships we made along the way.
Yes, the friendships we made along the way. And how, I mean, on top of that, more importantly, I think found family.
Yeah.
And that's our big thing, and that's kind of what Mighty Nein's about.
Well, when it comes to everyone that like they know everything, they've been here the whole time, how is this show going to surprise those people?
Well, there's for old fans who watch the campaign, there's definitely some new things that they have not seen. You know, it's at the table they were just with our characters, so we get to spend a little more time with other characters that were so beloved during the campaign, and now we get to see what their home life is like. And so I feel like there's more there for people who have watched the campaign, and they will sort of be like, oh, that's a little different, that's something new. Yeah, we tried to cover everybody.
Now, there's a dream crossover people really want to see one day. So if everyone from Critical Role were to get together with everyone from Dimension 20 and do one big game, what does that look like in your head? What's that dream scenario?
I mean, it would be absolute mayhem. It would be mayhem, but it would be so fun.
Yeah.
And I would love, as I spit everywhere, sorry.
No, you're
I think it would be so fun. I think we should do it. I think we should make it happen. I don't know how, but let's do it.
My last question for you, I want to squeeze in a quick Last of Us question.
Okay.
Not about the future, so you don't have to. But, you know, like I said, Last of Us 2 is like one of my favorite games ever, and I love the show. But I found it so interesting that, you know, obviously there are some loud fans out there. The game when it came out had a lot of pushback, and now season 2 has had like loud pushback in a very different way. So for you, what has it been like, you know, someone that helped originate all of it, what has it been like to watch those reactions and how that's evolved as people engage with the story in different mediums?
Yeah, I feel like with The Last of Us, people really love that story, including me. And it's very, very passionate fans. And sometimes that passion feels really great, and sometimes it feels not great. But, you know, I understand it. I understand loving something so much, and wanting it to sort of be what you want it to be. But it can be hard sometimes when you are making these things, and on your side of things, you're passionate about it and excited about it. And hopefully those two things can meet. But sometimes they do not, and that's hard. Because I mean, anytime you're working on anything, you want people to like it, and you want people to love it as much as you. But I love The Last of Us in every form, and I am so happy that I get to be a part of that telling of that story.
Is for people that maybe don't know anything about Critical Role or D&D, why is this the perfect starting point?
This is a show about adventure, you know? Everybody's looking for something they can, I want to say latch onto. You know, I was searching for family, for friends, for that missing element, and all of these characters are the same way. They are kind of lost, and through each other, somehow, everything starts to make sense.
On the other end of that, for everyone that knows everything, they've been here the whole time, how is this going to surprise them?
There's so many new things in this story that you haven't seen before. We get to finally see all of the weird machinations that were going on behind the scene in Matt's mind, you know? So many things that we heard about but never saw, and now we can see it from the beginning. And even just seeing, you know, Essek from the very beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's me. Full of shit and overly true.
Very last question for you. Dream crossover that fans really want to see happen. If everyone from Critical Role were to get together with everyone from Dimension 20, what does that look like? What is your dream scenario?
That would be utter chaos. It slowly has happened bit by bit. But someday, all of us will come into the same room and roll dice together. And dear Lord.
Is there a world that you of theirs or vice versa that you want to visit or you want them to visit?
Candyland. You know, that'd be pretty great.
Question is for people that maybe don't have any idea about Critical Role, maybe they don't even know D&D.
Yeah.
Why is this the perfect starting point for them to jump on that wagon?
Because that was the intent when we were developing it in this adaptation. We wanted to feel like an incredibly rich and dynamic fantasy world that kind of gently brings you in and then shocks you with its depth in a way that is inviting as opposed to terrifying. Yeah. You know, that's always the challenge when you bring something that is wholesale new and genre-based is, even if it's not for everybody, some people will be like, I'm good. So a lot of intent to make it interesting, to let the mysteries kind of unravel naturally, to give you enough of these characters that you begin to care for them and connect with them and want to see their journey through and feel yourself kind of falling in love with the world at the same time. So I like to think it's a very good entry point. You know, we've put a lot of intent specifically towards that.
Well, so for the people that have been here the whole time, they know everything. How is this going to surprise them?
I think it's going to surprise them because not everything is going to be an exact adaptation. We have so much content to adapt, so we have to pick and choose, but also because we are the EPs on this and we were in the writer's room with the writers, we are very much intent of keeping the heart and the soul of everything through. So some things will be very accurate, some things will be a little different with the intent, and it's always an opportunity to surprise people that have been there forever. You know, it's going to be, in some ways, its own thing, and I love that. And I think people, they loved it with Vox Machina, and I think you'll really love it with this one too.
My last question for you. There's a dream crossover that people are hoping to see one day. So in your head, if the entire group from Critical Role were to get together with everyone from Dimension 20 and had a big campaign, what does that look like?
That looks like a production nightmare, both from a camera coverage and scheduling scenario. So we're not going to let anyone in our production team, like Marisha, hear that because she will bleed from both ears. But, I mean, I love all those people. Everyone in that troup's so good. Like, Brendan, of course, is a dear friend and so talented. He's doing great with Campaign 4, and I've always loved every opportunity to work with them over at Dimension 20. The whole cast there, both, you know, mainstream adventurers and everyone beyond that is just so wonderful. So, like, yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to collaborate and continue to do cool things together because this industry isn't built on competitors. It's about rising tides and the cool things you can do when you work together instead. Yeah. And that's the good thing about being creator-owned companies is we're only behooving to that.
Why is this show like the perfect starting point and maybe even like jumping on point for everything?
Yeah, I hope anyone who watches this show sees how rewarding the concept of communal storytelling can be. This is a story that was just born from our heads and that we just played out real time in the moment, and now we've adapted it into an animated series. So hopefully people can see whether you are just in finance or you are in an artistic field, how rewarding a collaborative storytelling experience can be.
On the other end of that, for everyone that has been here, they know everything, how is this going to surprise them?
You know, I think there's always tricks and challenges when it comes to adapting, 600 hours of a D&D game into an 8-episode animated series.
No pressure.
So, no pressure. So there's a lot that we have done to try and honor the original story. I mean, so much of it is pretty recognizable from what happened in the campaign, while also doing a few, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly things to make it work and still feel very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last question for you. Fans are dying one day to see a massive crossover between Critical Role and Dimension 20.
Yeah.
What would be, if all of those people came together for a game, what does that look like for you? What is your dream scenario there?
Oh my goodness. I mean, Dimension 20's Fantasy High series is absolutely iconic. So I would honestly love if some of our characters from Exandria, maybe the Mighty Nein, get zapped back into high school. And we have to see how those characters navigate that. I think that would be epic.
So who do we talk to make this happen? Do we talk to you? Can you
probably me and Brennan.
There you go. All right, we're halfway there.
I got it. I'll take it to the team. We'll see if we get a green light.
Well, thank you so much. And again, congratulations. Why is this show the perfect starting point for them, and why they should get on the wagon?
This show is great for new fans and old fans alike because it's got characters that you will identify with, you will relate to. Doesn't matter if they can do magic or not. Doesn't matter if they fight with swords or wands or fists or whatever. These characters have seen stuff and been through stuff that every viewer has been through, whether it's their own insecurities or running away from mistakes they've made in their past, or running to something that is significant of hope and symbolizes the future. The characters they will fall in love with, and the magic and fantasy stuff will spoon feed that to them very slowly.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of that, the people that have been here the whole time, they know everything, right? How is this show going to surprise them?
Oh, fans of the show have a lot to get excited about. They're going to see all of the best characters and moments and places that they expect to see, that they want to see, that frankly they deserve to see. But we've sprinkled in enough new stuff and enough changes to keep them guessing and to keep them on their toes. In fact, the first 3 episodes are stuff that longtime fans have never ever seen.
Yeah. There's a big crossover that fans really want to see, and it's a legitimate campaign game with Critical Role and Dimension 20. Do you think that's anything that could ever happen, like with everyone, not just like one person, but like everyone interacting and creating worlds?
We love everybody at Dimension 20, and if you watch our channel or their channel, you'll see there's already tons of crossover. And it's great. We're friends with them, they're friends with us. So a huge mega super game with all of us together, I think that would be a logistical nightmare, but my God, it would be fun.
Are there any campaign worlds or characters that you would be most excited to see between those two groups? Like if they crossed into each other's spaces?
I mean, it's so funny. I've been playing professional role-playing games for a decade now, and yet I still sort of feel like a newbie because I've only ever played with these people. So I don't know all of the different worlds and all of the different game systems. I think it would be great to play in our world of Exandria just because I know it so well.
You're like, guys, just come over. Come over, we got room.
But knowing the Dimension 20 guys, it would end up being very, very funny.
When it comes to Mighty Nein, right? For people who maybe haven't seen anything Critical Role or D&D, why is this the perfect starting point for people to jump on this wagon?
God, well, I'll say it's a wonderful piece of world building. You don't have to know anything going in. It takes you around this world in a very, very broad, easy way. You get to learn these wonderful rules of this space. It doesn't feel like traditional fantasy. And we also take our time. And it's a great way to kind of dip into this kind of storytelling because we're not rushing. We're letting you really move very slowly. Have you seen any of it yet? Or we introduce you very, very slowly to all the characters. You get these. You really are not going to be lost on anything because we're making sure that you are along with us. There's Easter eggs are just Easter eggs. They're you don't need them. That's just cute and fun. But like we're here to really make sure that a story gets told because that's what we really, really like.
On the flip side of that, though, for everyone that like have been here the whole time, they know everything. How is this going to surprise them?
You know nothing. You think you know things. You know nothing. Nothing. Yeah, we are. Yeah, it's we specifically make sure that everything you want is in there, but we want to make sure that anytime you tell them, oh, this is what's going to happen next, we go, no, you thought so. No, we make sure that everyone gets a surprise. We don't want anyone being knowing too much what's around the corner, but everything you want is there.
Last question for you. There's a big crossover fans just really want to see, and that's with Critical Role and Dimension 20. So what could that look like one day? Is that something that could maybe happen where we can get like a full crossover with everyone, like those worlds, those characters, not just like someone coming over and playing a different campaign, but like a proper crossing of worlds?
We love those kids. So we go over and play with them on occasion. They come over and play with us. Oh, God. They're okay. I can think of a few things that could be a lot of fun with something like that. That could be fun. I don't know if Marvel Comics and DC can do crossovers. Who knows? So clearly anybody can get along.
Why would you say this show is a good starting point and the reason that people should jump on the wagon and get involved?
I don't think you have to worry about past lore or Legend of Vox Machina, which came before. This is if you like spy thrillers, if you like slow burn drama or romance or really just like the Maltese Falcon is up your alley, you are going to like this. This is a complete story, and I think once you've gone through it, you'll love what you've seen and probably be curious at the end to pull at the other corners of the map that you don't know yet.
On the other end of that, with people that, I've been here the whole time, they know everything, what is going to surprise them about this season?
How deep, how raw the show gets. This show does things in so many different ways that are hard to believe that we got away with to do an animated series. I don't know, how much have you seen? Have you seen anything?
I've seen some, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen all of it yet.
Okay, yeah, we get some real deep dive drama stuff. We get some weird penis-based humor.
The best humor, obviously.
Yeah. We love a good laugh seconds before a good cry, or vice versa.
That whiplash.
Yeah, yep.
Last question for you. There's a crossover fans are dying to see, and that's between Critical Role and Dimension 20. Have there been any sort of talks about what if we made a big game and just combine all of the cast in a unique way?
How many players could you get at one table? We pushed the limit on Critical Role right now. We're at 12, 13. What's the number? But I bet we could get to 20.
You know what's funny though is someone I don't know who to credit, but someone on Reddit, if they hear this, they posed the idea of having two different kind of games within the same campaign, but you have 5 and 5, so that way you can handle larger player counts.
Sure. But I think I want everyone at the table at the same time, so everyone will have about a minute and a half to talk.
Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. I think that. What does that look like in your head?
On that 70s show where the camera spins around at the center of the table and it just whips to a different person, maybe we could do that. Maybe we could have the camera just track to whoever's talking.
It becomes like an office. For people who maybe don't know anything about Critical Role, maybe they don't even know anything about D&D. Why is this a good entry point? And what can you say to convince people to be this is a good point to jump on the wagon?
Yeah. Well, we definitely wrote this for fans. We definitely wrote this for that exact person. I want my mom, who's never played a game in her life, to be able to watch this show and really love it. And really, it just starts with the characters. If you can access the characters, and if you feel that they're personal and you feel that they're relatable, then it doesn't matter what world you place them in, you're going to feel things. And so that's really the objective here.
On the flip side of that, for those that have been here the whole time, they know everything, how is this show going to surprise them?
It's going to surprise you because you're going to see the story come together in a way it didn't quite fully come together in the live show. The same but different. It's like tasting your favorite dish that your mom made you and your husband makes it for you now, and it's slightly different and still made with love.
How is it alternate timeline different, or just we get to similar points in just a different way? You took a different path.
Yeah, it should feel the same. We really, most importantly, want to mimic the same experience people had when they watched the actual live show. But just because of the nature of television, you kind of have to access that just a little bit differently than a live tabletop game where people are improvising.
My last question for you is, we know that the season 1 and 2 have both been recorded. Obviously, season 1 because we're here right now. But season 2 has been recorded. I know there's not much you can say, but are fans going to have to wait a while, do you think? Or is it going to be a digestible wait?
I hope you won't have to wait a while, is all I can say.
Next year, maybe, at some point?
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
I like it.